So how many of y'all have attended a summer camp or any type of camp? So according to the American Camp Association, 11 million children and more attend some type of camp every year. I'm Elizabeth Gonzalez, and I'm here to talk to you all about Easter Seals. We're a organization for the disabled, and I'm going to go through the history, where you can get involved, how you can get involved, and a personal testimony. So please hold all questions to the end. So if you open up your pamphlet, on the first page we have our history. So in 1907, the founder, Edgar Allan, his son was in a streetcar accident, and he was left paralyzed and later on died. And Edgar Allan felt that if his son was given better care at the hospital, that he would have lived. And so this inspired Edgar Allan to create his own hospital in 1911. And with having his own hospital, he saw the neglect the disabled community had. And so in 1919, he created the National Association for Crippled Children. And since it was his own hospital, he had to fund it with his own money, he created a charity organization called Easter Seals. And that became so popular that in 1969, the National Society for Crippled Children was renamed Easter Seals. Today we have over 550 chapters across the United States and in Australia. We not only help people with disabilities, mental and physical, or both, but their families and caretakers, because if the families and caretakers don't receive help as well, they can't be 100%, and if they're not 100%, they can't give 110 to their own children. Having a child with a disability is a lifelong commitment depending on the severity of their disability. So oftentimes parents, it's not 18 years, it's the rest of their lives that they're having to help their child. So if we open up our pamphlet, we're going to see that we're going to discuss Houston and Austin. During spring break, I volunteered in Houston at their spring break inclusion camp. This is a brand new camp. This is the second year it's been running. I've done both years. And the camp is an inclusion camp, meaning there's fully functioning children and children with disabilities. It's really about integrating and teaching children that we're all equal, we're all the same. Basically, as a volunteer, it's a day camp, so you are assigned a buddy, a fully functioning child or a disabled child, and you work with them throughout the day. So from coloring to participating with the entertainers, and depending on the disability and how severe it is, you are required to assist with feeding and restroom duties, but there's many nurses on staff and other volunteers help you. So in Houston, we also have Camp Buckaroo, which is just like the spring break inclusion camp, except the fully functioning children are the siblings of children with disabilities. It's a great camp because most of the times siblings can't do things together because obviously one has a disability and the other one doesn't. So this camp really allows for the children to work together. And as a volunteer, you'd be doing the same thing as a spring break inclusion camp. And so then if you want something more intensive, you can move on to Camp Smiles. So Camp Smiles is a overnight camp in Vernon, Texas. It's a camp for children with cerebral palsy. So cerebral palsy is a muscular disorder, so it's strictly physical. And depending on the severity, you are helping with, again, restroom and feeding duties, but now shower duties. It's an overnight camp, and it's just like any other camp. We have horses, you have ropes courses, swimming, all that fun stuff. Each day is a different theme. It's typically done around the 4th of July, so that's always neat. And ongoing, we have respite, which is volunteer and paid, depending on what you want to do. Respite is giving rest to the parents and caretakers. So this is every Friday evening in Bel Air. And basically you're babysitting, and it's not only children but adults as well. We have clients currently ranging from ages 5 to 25. So typical babysitting, watching TV, playing games, coloring, but you do help with feeding and restroom duties if necessary. Other programs Houston offers, we have Saturday bowling for adults, so people with adults with special needs. We also have Family Day Out, so it's respite, but for the whole family. So It's a great opportunity for the parents to drop off not only their child with a disability, but the fully functioning siblings as well. So it really gives the parents a break. Most of our programs involve some sort of respite for the parents, and again, that's extremely important. So if you're not available to go to Houston, we have our Austin opportunities. So Austin does not have any summer camps, but we have special events such as Dia de los Muertos Festival, the Back to School Fair in August, and Photos with Santa in December. We also have play groups. Again, we have respite like in Houston, but it's strictly volunteering and it's only once a month. Also, we have the SIB Kids Club, which is a club for the fully functioning siblings, and it's a weekly event, and it's basically a therapy session for these siblings. They don't often have friends who are going through the same things as they are, so it really gives them an opportunity to connect to other kids who understand their struggles. Oftentimes, children who have siblings with disabilities feel neglected or unloved by their parents just because the parents are having to put that much more attention to their siblings who have a disability. So it gives them a space to really talk about that. And we also have ECI, which is a program for new parents of children with disabilities. And as a volunteer, while the parents are in the program learning how to take care of a child with disabilities, you are babysitting infants 0 to 3, fully functioning and disabled. So if you like working with babies, that's a great opportunity for you. And if hands-on experience isn't your thing, but you still want to give your time, we also have professional opportunities. So if you have skills in marketing, sales, graphic design, writing, and web design, you can give your talents to Easter Seals. We are a nonprofit organization, so we really look for people who can help, free help, and that's always great. So for me, being a volunteer and an employee of Easter Seals, I have not only grown as a person. Every time I go, I feel like I've gained so much more than I have given my clients. I have become a more caring, a more open person, a more accepting person. I've also gained a lot of patience. If you talk to any of my close family or friends, I'm not a very patient person, but Easter Seals has really taught me the importance of patience, especially with others. And I made not only lifelong bonds and friendships with my other employees that I work with or other volunteers that I work with, but with clients, especially at camp. You see the same kids over and over and over again, and so throughout the years you can really get to see the growth that they have. So how to get involved. If you want to get involved in Houston, you can contact Lindsay Holton via email or phone number, and if you're over 18, you need a background check besides the general application. If you want to get involved with Austin, you can contact Shaylin Bravens through her phone number or through giftpulse.com, which is a website that Easter Seals of Central Texas uses to promote their events. Not only do you have to have a background check if you're over the age of 18, but you also need a TB testing for everybody. And if you're over the age of 18, you also need a fingerprint test. You just really want to be secure, especially since you're going to work with infants, since that is a possibility. It's really important. I really encourage everybody to work with Easter Seals if it's not the hands-on side, the professional side, or even through a monetary donation. Easter Seals really promotes diversity and acceptance, which I find really important. So Easter Seals is not only important to the clients and to their families, but to our society as a whole. Without integrating everybody in our society, we're not going to be one. So without programs and organizations such as Easter Seals, it's really difficult to have. So we need help in order to have these programs running. So if anyone has any questions, I'm willing to take them.
So like what